Welcome everyone to People on Dating. I'm your host, Will Morales. And for those of you who are tuning in for the first time, this podcast is about the ups and downs of dating and how to navigate through it. Today, I'm doing a different type of podcast. It's more of a friendly debate on modern dating in 2024. My first guest is Omar. Omar, how are you?
Hello, Will. How's it going? I'm doing
Good. I
good.
had Omar on a few weeks ago, talking about the dating's ups and downs of a young man. And my other guest is Ameera. Ameera, hello.
Hi, everyone.
So this is Amira's first appearance on a podcast, so I'm definitely
Yeah.
honored. So basically, this debate, we're just going to talk about, some topics, and then both Omar and Amira are going to chime in, talk about what they perceive about dating, whether there's pluses and minuses, how to navigate through all this good stuff on modern dating. So before I go on, I just want to say, Omar, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Uh, Currently, I'm a college student at the University of Arizona. I'm studying pharmacy, and just being an international student abroad in the US. It's been a very nice, engaging social experience overall. So this is where I'm getting all my social knowledge and context from the college aspect in general.
All right, sounds good. And Amira,
Very
tell us a
nice.
little bit about yourself.
Hey, okay, so I'm a 23-year-old independent, working young lady right now. I'm not going to college. I'm just focusing on my career at the moment. But I do at some point plan on going back to school. Right now, I'm just trying to, hustle and, make a name of myself
No,
kind of
sounds
thing.
good. No, sounds good.
Yeah.
Well, okay, guys. Well, you got the introductions. Again, I appreciate you both coming on. Okay, so the first topic, which has been what I've read online, what I've seen on YouTube and other platforms, should a man pay on the first date or do you split the bill? So, Amira, I'll start with you. What do you think?
Honestly, okay. So I think for the first date, I would do that, split the bill. I have no problem with doing that. But like in like back in the day, that's how it was. A man would, because like this gentleman thing to do, they would take charge and like, that's, I feel like back in the day they would pay for the bill. Now men, I feel like they would expect you to split the bill on like the first dates, that kind
Yeah,
of thing.
yeah,
But for
I
me, like I feel like if you're taking a young lady out, I feel like it's the right thing to do. It's like tradition or like culture to like pay for it and like have a good time, whatever, that kind of thing. Yeah.
right. All right,
I,
Omar.
I like I like what
For
she's saying.
me, for
100%.
me, for me, I don't mind splitting the bill though. Like that's
On the
totally
first
fine.
date, it depend, but it depend on where do you guys go? If it's a coffee date or if it's a high-end restaurant. So does it depend?
No, it doesn't matter. It
Okay,
does not
Omar.
matter. No.
Well, I kind of agree with her. I like what she mentioned is that she's willing to compromise. She has to, and that's not really nice overall for her to do. Like she doesn't have to do that. I feel like if you're going on a first date overall as a man from a man's perspective, you should be planning out where you're going, when are you going there, reservation or not, planning to see what you guys are gonna do after if there's a second part of the date. So you're doing that plan already, expected and knowing how much it's gonna cost you overall. So you cannot tell me, oh, let's go there, and then I ask me to split the bill. That's not nice, because that she doesn't have to plan for that at all. So I kind of agree with what she said is that if you want to on a first date, you have to, as a man, pay the bill in order for you to be somehow seen in the nice image she presented earlier about being traditional and being masculine and being leading. She mentioned leading. So these are all factors that every guy really wants to. So in order for you to get those, you have to pay the dues of being a gentleman overall and covering the bill. And it shouldn't be a huge indicator. You should just play it smart. If you don't want to pay so much, girls really don't care where you. Most good girls really don't care where you take them, as long as you give them a very enjoyable, fun time talking to them, making them laugh. So that could just be on a coffee date, on a ice cream date, on a random walk, walking your dog, a picnic. So it really doesn't matter where you take them. So paying $25 on that is not something that should hinder you overall, you know?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I agree with Amira. I think a man should pay. I know when I was you guys' ages, I paid. And even recently, when you go on a date, sometimes women are like, "Hey, do you need help with this?" And I always say, "No, I got it." Even if I know it's not going anywhere, you could feel it by the chemistry. You could feel it by just the, like women like to say, the vibe. You know, I know that it's not going to go anywhere, but I'm still going to pay. Okay, so thank you for both for that one. That was pretty good. Okay, are there places you should never go on a first date? So I'll start with Omar. Is there a place that you say, "Nah, I can't take a nice young lady to this place"?
I mean, yeah, I would say anywhere that you really aren't able to present yourself to 100%. So let's say you're going to the movies, you know, you're just sitting next to a random stranger, you don't know that much about them, and you're spending a couple of hours there. So that's one idea that I would take. I would say also a very expensive dinner. I don't think you should make that commitment because it kind of gives you an expectation, and you don't want to hold yourself to an expectation, and that's just could lead to a disappointment to the end, you know, for no reason.
Yeah, no, I definitely get it. Okay, anything else you want to add, Omar?
No, that's
Okay, Amira, is there a place that you wouldn't want to go on a first date, that you don't want a date to take you on a first date?
um, yeah, like for me, it's like I think the first date should be like mainly like communication, like getting to know each other, no pressure, that kind of thing. So like no like loud places, not a lounge, not a club. Um, they have some restaurants that could be loud too with like the music, like somewhere that you can be comfortable and just like talk. So like for me, like the perfect first date would be like in a park, like just walking in the park, like because you can talk, you can laugh, you can it's open, like that kind of thing, nowhere
And you're in
like
the public space too.
loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like congested, not too many people, that kind of thing.
All
Yeah.
right. No, that sounds good. Okay. I mean, it's great to hear these things because this is topics that we, especially my generation, we always want to go to a decent restaurant or whatever. But like Omar said, sometimes, you set an expectation so high, and definitely I agree with movies, because I've done that on first date takes. So, and then I'm like, wait a minute, I can't even talk to her because we're concentrating on the movie. So, I learned that the hard way, Omar, when I was younger. So, but good point, Amira. Definitely, you're one of the rare women that do, especially modern dating, that like, to be in an open space to talk, just to talk, because that's how you get to know someone. Okay.
She doesn't want something in return, and that's what she was hinted at. Like she just wants to get to know somebody,
Yeah.
and not having to get any sort of advantage out of the date, other than getting to know the person for who he is. Another place you should never date a girl is inviting her to your place in the first time. That's something very creepy that a lot of
Yeah.
guys do. And
Yeah, that is. Yeah, I 100% agree
if
there.
you
That's
take it from a girl's perspective, why would she come to a stranger's house where the door is locked and you're twice her size or something like that? So it's just like you have to take it into her perspective as well.
Yeah, no. Unfortunately, a lot of young men don't think that. They want to, go right up to the apartment right away. Okay. The next topic is what topics to avoid on the first date. In other words, what you should not talk about. Amira, I'll go with you first. Is there a topic that you don't want to talk about on the first date? You meeting someone
um
new.
my past,
Okay.
definitely my past, like could be anything past related. No exes, um family, definitely not sex. uh
Right.
yeah, that kind of thing. My past.
Okay.
I wouldn't want to talk about that. Yeah.
On the first date. Gotcha.
Yeah.
Omar.
I mean, I feel like you can mostly talk about anything as long as you're not too serious about it. Like, if you're talking about your past relationships, you can mention a story that was funny and your ex was there. That's adding context to it. I definitely feel as a man, you should never mention your weak, low points of life and to anybody you first meet. That's not something positive. It's not even positive vibes. So I think you should really focus on making sure not to give any negative stories whatsoever. You know.
Yeah, no, I
I mean,
definitely
for
agree.
anyone, like it doesn't have to be for a man too. I mean, girls, I feel like that for me, like that would like now, okay. Now, like in this generation, like people in their 20s, our generation, I like in general, like for girls especially, like what I find is like guys take advantage of that. So I feel like that would mainly be like a girl thing. Like she shouldn't uh discuss anything that, you know, she was like hurt or she was this kind of person before or
Yeah,
you know?
I see what you're hinting at. It's because I feel like, yeah, as a lady, it's not something proud to be mentioning that I did a lot of sexual experiences in the past and now become a better person. I focused more on my life. As a man, you would want to be hearing that. You're like, she's becoming a good girl on me now, and she was like not that good before. That's not something pleasant to hear. If that's what you're hinting at, or in general, like if she's been taken advantage of, as you said in previous relationships, makes her overall feel like she isn't that smart and somebody manipulated her before. Is that what you're hinting at?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Good point. Okay, that's a good point.
Yeah.
But I always mentioned this before. It has to do with topics on the first date. A lot of people, a lot of girls, when you mention somebody that as a man you like, for example, you mention a political character or a famous guy, and as soon as as soon as you show that you have interest in that particular person, they have no idea to automatically shut you down as if you are that exact same person and you believe in the same aspects they believe in. I mean, I'll give you an example. Like if somebody that you meet mentions that they like Trump, for example, oh, I support Trump because of this. Automatically, if you're against any or you have any Trump against Trump, you'll be feeling that, oh my God, I cannot hang out with this guy because he likes Trump. It's an automatic shutdown. But in my opinion, I feel like as a human being, most human beings should somehow, what's the phrase? Eat the meat and leave the bones. You take the good parts out of everybody, and you don't have to resonate with everything they do. So
I
Yeah.
get you. Yeah. Yeah, no, I definitely get that. No, that's a good point because uh you know, and it's funny because I remember I went on this it was a networking event. This is years ago, and this lady that I met said that she voted for Trump, and I know that, and I said, listen, politics is politics, that's fine. It doesn't have anything to do with me. That's you, and I wasn't even upset. I wasn't even pissed off, like, oh my God, I'm not gonna date her. So anyway, I don't want to go off. It's basically about you guys. Okay, so the next question: do you think both sexes, men and women, when they go out, do they get to know each other, or do they ask enough questions to get to know the other person? Because it seems like when a man goes out, they talk about themselves, or sometimes a woman might talk about themselves, that the guy doesn't get to say, "Hey, this is who I am." Um, does that make sense? I think Omar, it's your turn if I'm correct, right?
oh, um, I feel like that yeah, that doesn't really happen a lot. It depends on the person. If you're able to have a sense of humor, you can make fun of any story in your day for that to see where the funny aspect in it was. And at the same time, it really has to, as it if there's a click, a chemistry between two people, you'll get to know each other more and more and more easily. But if it's just like interview style question, then what's your favorite color? And she says blue. What's your favorite movie? She says this. It has to be about you rather than about other people. That's what I'm trying to say, is that a lot of people that go on their first date, they talk about other people, favorite artist, favorite movie, favorite singer, favorite TV show, all of this, but they never share anything about themselves. And they have to be the main character, and they're not even the main character in their own story. That's the weird part. They're not even the main character in their own story in their head. So I went to a Taylor Swift concert. I went to this event. I went to that. So I'm just saying is that you should be sharing more about your own opinions and perspectives rather than talking about other people overall.
Okay, so I just wanted to do a little twist because usually if I'm going out with someone, on occasion I've talked so much about myself that I didn't get to ask the other person what makes them tick. You know what I mean, Omar? So I
Yeah.
think, yeah. So, and I think that definitely turns a lot of women off because, you know, you hear about it where women will say, oh, you know, he didn't ask me any questions. Ask me any questions. This way you get to know me. So, Mira, on your point of view, if you're getting to know someone, whether it's just a friend or someone that might be potential, do they ask enough questions to you to get to know you? Or it's just basically like Omar said, hey, let's talk about ourselves, get to know each other, and not like Omar said, oh, I went to see Taylor Swift, I went to see this football game, I went to see that. Is there enough questions going around that people could get to know each other?
Well, I agree with what he said. But I feel like it's like more on like for me, it's more on like an energy level. Um, if we're talking, and like the first date, or even on the phone, like if we're speaking on the phone, um, I feel like it shouldn't be like an interview style. I feel like from the moment you start speaking to that person, you should already pick up like what kind of vibe you're getting from them. And like conversation would either the conversation would just flow, like the questions would just come naturally. It wouldn't be like an interview style just because of like how you're like listening to how they speak.
Right.
That kind of thing, if it makes sense. I feel like it would be easier. It's just a matter of like how comfortable you make that person in general, and that's like on both sides. Like, you know, you're not too like stuck up, or you're not too serious all the time. That kind of thing. Like, humor is a big thing. A lot of people, me especially, like love laughing. That kind of thing. I feel like it's really the energy that you get that just gets the conversation going, and I feel like questions would just come naturally.
No, yeah, I was actually
Yeah.
bringing it back to something that Will said. You mentioned that it's some girls would be annoyed they didn't ask them some questions, and I kind of disagree with that. I was like, you don't have to ask them questions. So basically,
No.
what I was hinting at is that I would mention anything I want to talk about, no matter how absurd the opinion is, and I'll say it and I'll make a joke about it. And then, what do you think about that? This is automatically me ingesting a conversation topic,
Yeah.
and she has to just give a random opinion about it, even if she has no idea what I'm talking about. Okay, and I disagree. I think this. She laughs about. I don't know this. So that's what I'm trying to bring up. Is it
Gotcha.
doesn't have to be a question type of based thing.
No. No.
Yeah.
Okay, no, hey, listen, I'm always open to learning for anybody, so I like both of your opinions. Okay, so Amira, this question is definitely for you. In your opinion, are men getting soft and women getting more masculine? And if so, what do you think that is?
Yes, men are definitely getting softer. Um, in my perspective now, they are. I think the reason behind that is Society has built this image over time on men that they should not be vulnerable. So now, and it's like, I don't understand that, because if you're mean, or if you're just, they would look at it like, okay, it's easier to get hurt that way, and they're scared, that kind of thing. So I feel like society has built like this image on how a man should be, and like that plays a part in all that. And girls, like, there you should let a man be a man. Like, some, like us women, you know, they played a part in that too, where they, oh, okay, you can't do this for me, I'm gonna do this for me, you know, I can get my own, get the bag, this, that, and the other. And then that, just like, okay, if he wants to buy you a present or like a gift or just random, like,
Mhm.
some women would be like, no, like, you know, I have this, I can do this. Or some women have, just some women in general, like, you know, be like, okay, I don't need this from you. You, like, when you do stuff like that, it makes a man feels less of a man, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know, it's, how do I explain it though? But do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, I definitely do. Yeah.
I think, yeah, I get what she's trying to hint at. I genuinely think men are becoming softer, for the aspect is that they're 100% agreeable with most women, with whatever they say, thinking that this is going to increase their chances of getting to sleep with her, for example. So I'll give an instance. She says, oh, she's a huge fan of Taylor Swift, or she likes to watch Gossip Girl or something like this. And he's like, yeah, I watched before and I really enjoyed it. And he didn't. That's being 100% agreeable. And I definitely think there has to be a conflict between a man and a woman. There has to be some sort of friction for some sort of passion to ignite, you know. And it's just somehow trying to be 100% agreeable. It gives a sort of impression that you can never stand up for your own opinion, and you're easily manipulated through a string with whatever she
Yeah.
says. And that gives the idea that he doesn't speak for himself. So that's what I was bringing up earlier, is that even if you have an opinion about somebody you like, and the whole public doesn't like him, and you have a respectful opinion and you're able to present it in a very nice manner, you should say it either way. Whether she likes it or not, it doesn't matter, because you are opinionated. It shows that you can strictly stand up to what you believe in, whether she likes it, whether anybody likes it or not. And in some sort of context, it brings up the image in her head that, oh, he's gonna defend whatever he stands for, no matter what. I'm not a priority in his head, you know.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. See that?
Anything, Amira?
No,
I can see
he's right.
okay. No, because I can see the
He's
wheels
right.
turning.
No, I agree with him. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good. All right. I think, you know, Omar, you're 100% right, because I've been in that situation when I was a little younger, when I was 100% agreeable, because yes, the goal is to end up sleeping with her or whatever, and then it doesn't work because I end up in the friend zone because I become one of her best friends. So I definitely agree there that I think a guy has to have his own opinion, his own mind to move forward. So I definitely agree there. Okay. Are dating standards too high now for both men and women? Do men have certain expectations of a woman? Do women have certain expectations of a man? I think it's Omar. Omar, what do you think about that one?
Uh, I think the majority, or at least I won't say the majority, at least what I see on internet or on social media overall, that the standards are very high. However, from my own experience, I would say that the standards is dependent upon what you're looking for as an individual. So let's say for a man, oh, they might say on social media, we want a woman that knows how to cook, knows how to clean, knows how to do this, knows how to do that, doesn't have a high body count, doesn't have this. It's a lot of high requirements, for example. For me, I need to find somebody that gives me the same feeling or the same personality as my mom, for example. See how it narrows down to not a checklist, but more of a personality perspective. The same thing could happen for a woman. If she's like, I need a man that makes this amount of money, he's tall, he has a fancy car, and so on and so on. But that's what we see on social media. However, I don't think that most women kind of want to go that way. So it really depends on what you're looking for. So your standards of dating is dependable on the type of woman you want to be with.
Sounds good. Ameera? Are
I
dating
completely, I
standards
agree.
too? Okay, go ahead.
Sorry, I completely agree. But I agree with him. But I think social media has made people like get everything twisted. So, you would think without getting to know the person that, okay, she requires this or he requires that, or that. So like they set it so high without getting to know the person, and that's where like it just goes sideways from the very beginning, But I totally agree with him on that. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I think um uh the requirements that some women, this might be a little off, but I feel like the requirements that women want or need, uh it's not like that's not the focus. Like people would think, okay, it's about taking her on like a fancy restaurant, meeting up her standards, her lifestyle, like that kind of thing, and miss like the bigger picture in like actually getting to know who this person is, their personality, like you said,
Yeah.
that type of thing. Yeah.
The
Okay.
standards, I feel like, the standards are really a mess these days
Yeah.
because women have too many options available, and men have as much options, but they want to conquer. I want to say the word conquer as if it's a checklist in a lot of men's head, that they want to sleep as much with as much women they want to before settling down. And for women, they want to make sure they're undecisive in their own. They want to settle with somebody, but they're undecisive about it because they have too many options as well. So this kind of creates a high standard for both, and somehow,
Yeah. Okay. No, good point. We're talking with Ameera and Omar. This is a debate on modern dating in 2024. And one of the first things I forgot to mention is that these two never met. Ameera's in New York. Omar is a student in Arizona. So they never met until today. So this way you guys don't think it's a setup. So anyway, the next question, which again, I've been reading and seeing on social media. Does your partner need to bring something to the table? In other words, do they have to bring something that they can enhance your life at the beginning? Because people always say now, oh, what does you bring to the table and what does he bring to the table? Is that something that you guys think about? What are you seeing out there in the modern dating world? I think it's Amira. Does your partner need to bring something to the table for you to be like to take him serious, or can that come later? Does he have to be established right off the bat to meet your standards?
For me, no. I think no expectations is really what does it. I feel like if you have expectations of like, okay, this is how it's supposed to be, you end up getting disappointed. But with that being said, you'd hope for like a person to be not well established, but like have a good head on their shoulders. You know, they're ambitious. They're working. It doesn't have to be like a 100K paying job. You don't have to have a car, but like somebody that has like a good level head on their shoulder. But I don't think you should have like expectations. For me, that's just no, no.
Okay, fair enough. Omar?
Yeah.
No, I kind of see what she was hinting at, is that she doesn't really care what the man is doing, as long as the traits, the good positive traits of hard working and discipline and trying to provide are there, even if it's not doing anything right now. If he is, for example, if he is working so hard in his music studio day and night trying to produce something, and he's not getting any work, famous work out there, but he's working. That's attractive to her, because it's showing that he's not just sitting at home watching TV and smoking weed. You know,
Yeah.
that's the opposite. He's not sitting at home playing video games all day long. That's what she. Even if he's making 100K and he's just sitting playing video games, she doesn't see the 100K. She doesn't know how that happens. Okay, but it's all about the work ethic, that he has something bigger than himself, bigger than her, bigger than something in like
It'll be like ambition, basically.
yes,
Yeah,
ambition.
somebody that has potential, that kind of thing.
Right. Okay. Omar, anything else you want to
Yeah,
add? Or?
for me personally, it's the same thing about women overall. I'm not expecting anything physical in any sort of moment. Really, I believe that most, and I love that most ladies I see are very independent, and that's something very nice, because I want somebody that has their own passion as well, and I'll support that. The same way I'm hoping that they will support whatever I have going on. It's just the nurturing tendencies is something nice. The caring, somebody that shows signs of good loyalty, staying with you when things are not going your way, a few years or something. So that's all signs I would be looking for them to bring on the table.
No, that's fair. I think too, what Amira said, sometimes you bring expectations and then you get let down. And I stopped that years ago of having expectations with someone. I also think what Omar said is, yeah, you listen, as long as you're working, you're going towards your goals, right? Having the ambition that you want to do something. And you know what? It's funny because independent, when you hear the word independent for a woman, it's such a buzzword now. Oh, that means she doesn't need me, whatever. No, she has, like Omar said, she has her own mind, she has her own goals. Um, and I'm fine with that as a man and up there in age, So I'm fine with that. So okay, so far we covered, should a man pay on the first date or split the bill? Places you should never go on a first date. Topics to avoid on the first date. Do both sexes ask enough questions of each other to get to know each other? Are men getting soft and women more masculine? Are dating standards too high for both men and women? Does your partner need to bring something to the table, right? Can they enhance your life? Now, the next question is for Omar. Again, this has been a buzzword for the last year and a half that I've been doing this podcast. Body count. Is body count important for both men and women? This is a question I had to add because this wouldn't have been a debate without obviously that question. So Omar, this is on you go first on this one.
I mean, I'm not gonna deny. I 100% agree. Body count does matter, in my opinion, from a man's perspective, and it's just the idea about more. It's not about insecurity. It's more about how much value am I getting there? Because let's be honest, it's harder for a man to get to the lady than the other way around. So if I'm fighting, if I'm going planning this with the girl, trying to get her number, trying to make a good time, arrange this, arrange that, I'm working towards something in some sort of context. Okay? And so if it was easy for tons of people to do it before, then is it really worth it at this point? If anything you work hard for is valuable and brings you sense of accomplishment.
Mhm.
But if you get it the easy way, it doesn't really give you that sense of feeling proud. But I'm not saying it in a way that a woman with a high body count has no value. I'm not saying this degrades her value. I'm saying it degrades the value of the effort you can put towards getting her. And in this day's social life, I actually find it very hard for women to balance that, because yes, I do believe that a lot of women know that high body count is wrong. They have that sense. They have that inside of them.
Yeah, yeah.
That it's not something I should be doing. And at the same time, when they meet a lot of, they go on a date on a guy and they actually like him, and they don't want to give that card right away because they're gonna be like, oh, it's an extra body on me. So it's a kind of a dilemma in their head, because like if they keep saying no, no, no to the guy might just be like, oh, you know what, I'm done with this, and she might lose the guy she likes. So it's kind of a very hard balance to keep and manage in this current day, you know.
Yeah, no, I definitely. So yeah, Ameera, on you. So go ahead, Ameera.
Okay. Okay. I kind of, I'm like 50-50 on that one, because like what Omar just said, I feel like you're having expectations there on both sides. You shouldn't do that. You shouldn't have that. Because one is like you end up getting yourself hurt, or somebody ends up leaving. But me personally, I don't think a body count matters. Because I feel like when you meet someone, you don't know who you're meeting. You don't know that person like in their state then in that moment.
Mhm.
Their past could have been mistakes. You don't know what they had before, what type of person they were before, 3 years ago, what they were doing, what they were going through. I feel like for me it doesn't matter. But I do agree with something Omar said, like the value, like how much do you value yourself?
Mm.
Yeah, that was a good point. I personally don't think body count matters, because
From a man's point of view, I'm saying for you, for your point of view, from a man, whether he has a body count of 5 or 50, you're okay because the past could have been.
the past
Yeah.
is the past, and
Okay.
you're there with me now. So why should we dwell on that? Like you had a life before you met me, you know?
I
Fair
mean,
enough.
I want to add though is that I don't think most women really care about the guy's body count, but it's the other way around. Men care about the girl's body count, and it's because
Actually, wait, hold on. There are some females that actually, not one of them. If you were and like leading up to me has like this playboy flirty kind of thing, and then you're coming to talk to me, like I feel like yeah, some females like, okay, I'm just another one for your books.
but you don't really know. I'm talking about like if there's a number like if it's like a question and answer type of thing, like how many you had before. You're just getting the vibe. I can see what you're getting at. You're getting, oh, he's a flirtatious vibe. He's gonna play with me. He's gonna just wants me for one of his books. But I don't really know if maybe he's just charming and good talking and he wants. So I'm talking about from an actual. You ask him and he says 20, and you're like, oh my god, this is too much. I don't want that. Compared to a man, if he asks you how much of a body count and you say a number that he doesn't like, he might think about it too much and he's like, oh my god, this is never gonna go out of his head somehow. But the reason I'm saying this is because I feel body count for a man, like the importance of woman's body count for a man is the same as the importance of how many past marriages that man had in the perspective of a woman. For example, the reason I'm saying this is women are the ones that have the keys to allow the sexual experience to happen. They're the one that they open the gate for that. The same way, a man is the one that most of the time proposes to a lady and offers them marriage. So if you put both of them on the scale, they're kind of, okay, he wants, if you want to take it back all the way traditionally, a woman would only have sex with the man that she marries to. So it's some sort of that equal transaction in some sort of way. So yes, if a man tells you, oh, I had 7 failed divorces, is the same as if a girl tells you, oh, I slept with this amount of dudes.
Yeah. Okay, I see what you're saying.
So did that make sense to you, Ameera?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
No,
it did.
because you know, going back to that, and this is an old comedy spell count. Chris Rock had mentioned in a stand up that why do a man want to know? Because no matter what number she gets is going to be too high. And he said basically the point is you're not discovering anything new. You just be happy that you're with her now. That's it. Don't stress yourself out over things you can't control. So, you know, I think you both of you guys definitely made a good point. Anyway, so this is the last question. And first, I want to thank both of you guys for being on the podcast. I thoroughly enjoy myself learning from the young people. So, Ameera, this question is for you. Is chivalry dead? Is being a gentleman a thing of the past?
Yes. Yes. Yes,
Please go on.
100%.
Okay.
100%. Like, guys these days, they don't open the door on the first meeting or the first day or whatever. That's a big thing for me, opening the door. You know, everybody just wants to get to the point where it's physical. Now, that's most people. Guys, they don't like flowers. No, like, you know, like love letters. No, okay, just randomly thinking about you. Let me just call her. Or, you know, it's really like the intangible things, that kind of thing. So definitely, and I feel like social media has played a part in that, a big part in that. So yeah, I definitely think that doesn't happen. And to be honest, like a lot of females now, when you ask them what they're looking for, it would be like the intangible things. Yeah,
The
like
call, the
that
phone
kind of
call, a little flower here, there, a little
there.
letter.
Yeah,
Okay, all right.
yeah.
Okay, fair enough, fair enough. Omar?
I mean, I believe all these gestures are very beautiful and a man should do them. And I would advise every guy out there to just do these simple things because apparently it stands out a lot. But let me bring it back to also a perspective that I always think of. Any of those stuff should be viewed differently based on if the girl is really likes that person or not. So if she doesn't like him and he's being sending flowers and sending many texts and calling her multiple times a day, he's gonna be viewed as needy. But if she's waiting for that call, if she's waiting for these flowers, if she's when they come, it's gonna mean a lot. Why? Because she has huge interest in that person. Because in my opinion, if I put it the statistics kind of thing or an example, let's say a woman meets or interacts with 100 men throughout a month. She talks to 70 or gives a positive interaction to 70, gives her number to 50 of them, replies back to their text, 25 of their texts, 25 people of them, ends up going to dates on 10, and then actually likes 5, and it's this one dude that did not give her the chivalry she wants, and then you might say, oh, chivalry is dead. I'm just putting it into kind of perspective about generalization. and it really might depend on who you want it from, rather than if everybody's different or not.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah,
Amira?
yeah. I agree with him. I agree with Omar. It depends on the person, the type of person that they are. So,
And the
but yeah,
and
you
someone that's
made a great point.
and someone that you might be interested in, though, right? I mean, because definitely if you're interested in someone, you want them to go, I hate to say the word go all out, but show that they still have some chivalry in them, right? I mean, that's the main point.
Yeah.
Because if it's someone that you don't like, you'd be like, oh my God, you know. So I get what you're saying. Yeah, right. I mean, it definitely,
Yeah,
even from a
yeah.
man's point of view, you know, a woman's call, you'd be like, oh God, I gotta talk to her. So definitely. Yeah, go ahead, Omar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, I was gonna say, well, you just mentioned it's some true. Sometimes I'm waiting for that text from that girl, you know, I'm hoping that's her, but then it's someone else, and you're like, oh man, you know,
It's so true. It's so true.
there's a
You know
joke
you
they
went
say
there,
online,
yeah.
it might be a bad joke. Ameera will definitely might not like it, but they say when the love of your life is texting you, but then you check the message and it's actually your wife. So it's a kind of respect.
No,
That was
definitely. I
funny.
get that. Well, listen, first of all, guys, I want to thank both of you guys for being on the podcast to talk about debate on modern dating in 2024. And before I let you guys go, I just want maybe one final word from each of you. So, Amira, you'll go first. Anything you want to say that maybe people could take away from this?
Um, I feel like okay, so for me, you know, everybody has, or most people would have a past and they would have trauma and pain. And I feel like despite all of that, and it could be anything. It doesn't have to be relationship related. It could be anything, like any life scenario or whatever. I feel like you should remain like genuine and soft and always, it doesn't matter what it is, again, it doesn't have to be a relationship, like remain open-minded and soft and genuine, because at the end of the day, those are the things that really gets you where you need to be. And it, yeah,
All right.
just remain soft and genuine. That's it.
Right. Because it's not,
in in this cruel world, we need more soft people, more genuine people,
I would say more
because
genuine than soft
more
because yeah, because you
more
remember we talk
genuine
about the
people,
yeah,
yeah.
I definitely agree there. No, no, I love that point. Anything
Yeah.
else or
No, that's it.
all right, Omar, you know, uh,
Yeah, basically, I just want to emphasize that how really men should be looking for qualities that all she presented here about herself, she already has most of them, and all that quality that you should be approaching, which is like finding a quality woman over a sexy girl, you know,
Yeah.
and that really is at the end of the day the core value of a person you want to spend your life with.
okay, no, I mean, I think that's you know, a lot of men your age don't think that way. Even guys my age don't think that way. You know, but have going out with a quality woman over the sexy woman because it's always arm candy, and then at the end of the day, you realize, oh my God, this girl's a headache or whatever. But when you're with a quality woman, it enhances your life. I always believe that. Well, anyway, first of all, guys. Omar, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule. I know you're in school. I know you're enjoying the nice 80-degree weather while here in New York, it's in the 40s. So I'm a little jealous about that. Amira, also, thank you so much for being on People on Dating and taking time out of your busy schedule because I know you got stuff to do. And
Yeah.
then thank you both.
Thank you. It's
Thank you
Valentine's
for
Day.
having me.
All
It's
right.
Valentine's Day next week, so make sure you guys get out there, get your flowers and check chivalry.
100%, 100%, guys. Definitely get out there, show your woman that you care about her and you're thinking about her. And Valentine's should not be once a year. It should be at least every week. So
Yes.
anyway, okay, guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.